have much trash. Famous last words. Always works out that way. Alright, let's see what we got here. So this is what we're gonna be working on. This little guy. I should probably try the hot air seat. I didn't get water for my soldering iron. I should probably not need it. Maybe I will. I don't know. Hope we don't need it. It'd be a lot easier if we could just turn this thing on and it would work. Looking up the schematics for it really quickly. What's going on, Easy Skip? How you doing, man? Alright, what did I need? Oh, water for my soldering iron. I'll be right back. I could dip it in my water, but I drank from that. Where did I find this for $1? I found it on eBay for $1. Here, I'll show you. It ended up being like $5 with shipping, but something like that. Let me show you. And it came with a charger, believe it or not, which is actually what I was more interested in than anything. Because I have a couple of these, and I have to use aftermarket chargers, and they're not, AC adapters, and they're not really great. They're at like 8.5. Like the power supplies for like the 90Ks and stuff like that, or like the Slim PS2s. They're all like 8.5. So it doesn't really work out. Yeah, here it is. No capture. Yeah, see? $1.99 I got this bad boy for. I bid $10 just in case somebody was gonna outbid me or whatever, but they didn't. So yeah. PS1 white broken damaged console with working power cord. $1.99, I'm sorry. I kind of lied. That's kind of dishonest. Truth be told, if it's below $5, it's pretty much up to the dollar. That's how my brain works. But yeah, I don't know if it works or not yet. I mean, it might. It might not. I doubt it does. Otherwise, Sky wouldn't have sold it. Actually, it's funny. So I messaged this dude, and I'm like, yo, I'll buy it from you for $10. And he's like, why? You're going to win the bid. And I was like, well, I don't want to wait till tomorrow, because it was ending in a day. And sure enough, I sat there, nobody else ever bid on it. Crazy, right? I actually do have my testing PC or computer, or whatever this is, monitor set up. So we'll see if it works really fast. It is in kind of deplorable shape, though. Oops. It doesn't look like anybody's ever opened it because there's a screw under here, under that seal. Sorry, I don't know if you can hear me. Yeah, there's a screw under that seal, and that seal's not broken, so it means that nobody's ever opened it before. Oh, there's a game in there. NBA. Oh, gross. Oh, that's not good. No wonder the fucking game's in there. It brought the whole disc thing with it. What the fuck? Homie, no wonder he sold it for $1. I guess that just pops right back on. Yeah, it does. I have to speedrun this game. It's NBA Shootout, bro. What do you want from me? That's funny. So yeah, look, watch. I'll pop the game in, and it looks like the bearings on this thing are not tight enough. Oh no, it didn't come off that time. But yeah, look, it just pulls right off. That's okay though, because I actually have. So I saw on eBay that this was in this bad a shape. I mean, you can look at some of the. Here, let's see if I can do this without knocking my camera over. You can see the quality of it. My camera has a light on it. It's dingy. But I actually have a broken one right here. So I was just gonna switch this case out, but I also have a working disc reader as well if this one doesn't work because the fucking thing comes off of it. That's pretty crazy. I don't think I've ever actually seen that happen before. Whatever. Anyways, I guess we'll try it out. We got a game in there already, so I don't have to go get one. This is just standard composite. Oh shit. Oh, there you go. It stayed. Look. This button is very finicky. That could be two things. It could be this. Yeah, see that? That it's not pressing far enough down. It could be that the switch is dirty. The switch actually on the board itself. Could be either of those. It turns on. I hear it spinning. I have audio. But no video. The audio is pretty clear. Not even an inkling of a video signal. Okay, so that leads me to believe that it's the AC coupling capacitors, probably. Fortunately, I have some of those right here. Because usually that's not... I expected it to be a power issue, and it doesn't look like it's a power issue. It looks like it's an actual display issue. Which is maybe a little bit more of a pain in the butt to fix, but we should be able to do it all the same. So, yeah, I guess we'll take it apart then. It's probably dirty. Just look at those feet. Look at the feet of this clean case. Look at that. That's pretty gross. Oh, I should probably take the disc out of it. Good old NBA shootout that we got for free. So, yeah, it's funny. Let's see if we can have it happen. Yeah, there it goes. You see that? It took the whole disc head with it. That's quite unfortunate. That's okay. So what we can do is I actually have a an optic disc laser here, but we have to make sure it's the same board revision. It should be though. It should be a 5.1. We'll find out. I do speed running. Yeah, I don't know if I'm the guy. Oh, there we go. That's pretty rough as well. I'm a guy, that's for sure. I do some speed runs. Figure after we do this, I thought it was going to be power issue. I could bypass a fuse and we'd be good, but... Oh, Easyscape? Yeah, now that's the real-ass Easyscape. Damn, now I'm a little offended. That's the real deal Easyscape. The man, the myth, the legend himself. And I'm just messing with you, by the way. Sorry, I know that you're kind of seeing my hands here. So we're just gonna take this bad boy apart, and then I'll get out. I have the schematics open. I'll show in a second. I don't remember this thing being so close to my fucking hand last time. We'll do it over here. Yeah, he's the real deal. If you don't follow him on, or what is it called? Subscribe to him on YouTube. You should. Cool guy. Cool guy. Dang. Hear that creaking? That's because there's probably been water at some point. I don't know. Could be a fucking litany of things. Oh, there we go. Yeah, see, there it is, under the seal. Now, these things actually close pretty damn tight. I should have probably broken the seal a little bit better, but it's whatever. Yeah, I fucked that up. Oh, bro, I love Turbo. I love talking about it, right? It's not even that I love it or that I believe, like, every game needs to have Turbo or you know, I'm not like a Turbo crusader. I own a lot of Kiwamis, sure. But I also totally believe that it's as simple as just splitting a leaderboard and pleasing everyone. I just like to meme on the community because it's such a simple solution and everybody makes it so difficult and gets upset about it. And it really brings me a lot of joy to instigate it. Alright, so it should just come apart now. Did I get all the screw? Oh no, I missed a screw. Oh, I'm gonna turn the music back on. But yeah, I love talking Turbo, man. Love it. I love it. I have so many Kiwamis, dude. I could give the whole Final Fantasy VIII leaderboard a Kiwami and still have some left over. Then nobody would bitch anymore, and everything would be great. Well, it's not dirty on the inside. It looks like this isn't obstructed by anything. This is where our power button is here. Generally, what you'll see is like these two little holes here filled with a bunch of gunk. Oh, I'm gonna turn this light off. Oh shit, this is not that clean. That looks like, oh look at that. All this oxidization means that it was either wet at some point, I don't know. Kept in a humid place. I'll give you a, this is what it should look like. Let me turn this fucking light off. Pretty rough. It's just oxidization though. I mean, this is in good shape. It lets you know that it's not like, yeah, it's just humidity. Probably kept in like a super AC'd room or something like that, or maybe even a garage. It's not uncommon that people keep old shit in a box in a garage. But this is in relatively good shape. You could probably retro bright this. I'm just gonna replace it because I have this nice one over here that I don't use. But yeah, EasyScape, hit me up, man. If you want to talk Turbo, dude, I'm your guy. I love the discussion. And trust me, I can see it both ways. And I personally, anything that I can use Turbo in, I do. Because why wouldn't you? Accessibility. If anything, it makes it more fair. Because everybody's on an even playing field, but that's a discussion for another day. So, I guess what we'll do now... Oh, what's going on, Crazy? How you doing, man? Yeah, I'm going to assume it's the AC coupling capacitors, and that's why we're not getting any video. So, I'll bring up the scheme... Oh, damn. Oh, that was really, really in there, which is alarming. So here's your laser. I think this is a board revision 51. I think all of these little minis are. What's going on? What's going on, Connor? How you doing, man? My man Cordelium himself. Oh shit, these might not be. Well, they look the same. So this is good. This one's old. We're gonna separate them so I don't forget. Oh yeah, it's definitely this button here. it's definitely, so one thing I'll do is probably just put a couple drops of isopropyl alcohol in there, and then I'll just let it dry out, and that should at least hopefully clean it out a little bit. But this heat sink shielding should come off pretty easily. Alrighty, so this is what we're looking at here. Oh, there's a little bit of oxidization on this side here. So primarily, what we need to focus on are these right here, right? So this one, this capacitor, see if I can get it to focus. This capacitor is for your video sync, and this one right here is for your S-video. So we'll change both of these. I have S-video. I should have tested it, but I was too lazy. So yeah, we'll try that one first, and we'll see what the results are. How do I want to do this? Do it a couple different ways. I guess I'll use hot air. So I'm gonna actually pull it out of the shield here. Oh man, it's in there good. These things have a bad habit of getting stuck right here, so you have to push it out that way. It's not the worst thing I've ever seen, that's for sure. So I'm gonna prop it up like this, see if I can get this to come in even closer. It's not gonna focus super great. Maybe if I turn a light on. Ah! No, that sucks. I don't know shit about anything, to be completely honest. Maybe if I turn this light on. That just looks like Blair Witch Project. Whatever, forget it. You guys don't need to see it. It's not important. So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna heat up this middle one. Excuse me if it's loud. We're gonna heat this little guy up here. We're not even gonna do much. We're just gonna move the heat back and forth and kind of tug on it with my left hand, but not super. Oh, there you go. Pops off super easy, just like that. You see. So we'll replace that one, and we'll replace this one for the S-video just in case. Yeah, I did just get home from Chuck E. Cheese. Oh, there you go. There's number 2. Everybody's always like, "Do you really work at Chuck E. Cheese?" And I'm like, why would I lie about that? It's not like a dope place to work. It was like, holy shit, like it's Harvard. It's the Harvard of fucking entertainment or something. They're like, "What do you do? Do you like make pizzas?" I'm like, "No, I don't. Believe it or not." Or they're always asked, they're like, Are you ever the suit? Yeah, are the pizzas reused? No. It's literally not possible to reuse our pizzas. Oh, those are fucking hot. So the ovens that we use, they're called conveyor ovens. And in a conveyor oven, you can't cook something more than once or it'll burn. Well, that's at 100. It's the wrong capacitor. Okay, so we'll use these two here. I do have the coolest job at Chuck E. Cheese. I would definitely not work in any other job. If they were like, "Hey, will you work at Chuck E. Cheese and do anything else?" I'd be like, "Fuck no, I barely work there as it is." Alright, here you go, 220. So this is the capacitor that we need, 220 microfarads. They need to go right here and right there. But as you can see, hey, what's going on, B-Scape? How you doing? Yeah, as you can see, there's like manufacturing flux left behind, and that's alright. That's not uncommon. Ah! Sorry. My setup here is very, very ratchet. It's here, I'll see if I can show you. It's literally a webcam zip tied to a microphone stand. And that's my girlfriend's chair over there. That's where she sits and stuff. When you got to destroy that game though. Oh yeah, no, I do get to smash some games sometimes. That's always pretty fun. Beascape, what's going on, my man? How are you? How are things on the YouTube bounty front? You guys got any update on that? Many have tried, and all have failed to conquer 1,000 arms. I'll tell you that much. The dankest Chuck E. Cheese content. Yeah, it's crazy because like I'm not afraid to get. Well, I don't want to say this on stream, but like they can't really fire me. I mean, they could, but there's like way more shit going on. And if they were like, "Yo, we didn't really like your tweet," I'd be like, "All right, guys, you know what? I don't want to work at a place with this little self-awareness." Like for instance, for instance, right? Let me give you an example. So Chuck E. Cheese, I don't know if you guys saw it on the news. For a while, we've been doing this thing on Grubhub, which Grubhub suggests to businesses in the area. It's called a ghost kitchen. So what we've been doing is on Grubhub, we're listed as Chuck E. Cheese. And for anybody who might see the name Chuck E. Cheese and be like, I don't want to eat there, we have created this place called Pasquale's Pizza Kitchen. Pasquale is one of the characters in the band. So if you don't know any Chuck E. Cheese lore, you're not going to know. So you order from there, and you're like, oh, okay, and you don't realize you're getting Chuck E. Cheese food. Yeah, it's a real thing. We've been doing it a while. Obviously, we keep it hush-hush. I don't say shit about it, because it's not really my thing. I mean, I disagreed with it, as well as a lot of my coworkers, just because it feels dishonest, and it is. But let me explain first, before I get into that, let me explain first why it takes place, right? So Grubhub reaches out to these businesses. Grubhub themselves. Oh, I'm sorry. Grubhub. Which one is it? You know, it might be Uber Eats. It's one of them, and it's only one of them. Okay, I'm sorry, I lied. It's not Grubhub, it's Uber Eats. Sorry, it's Uber Eats. So Uber Eats reaches out to these companies that pays them. Now keep in mind, these big companies, we pay Uber Eats to display us high in the recommended in the local whatever, right? That's a thing. You pay to be displayed higher up on their algorithm for like your local eateries on the front page, shit like that, right? So they're like, hey, listen, we can offer you a chance to make more money by rebranding yourself as something else and having two opportunities to make money as opposed to one. And at the same time, we know that you will pay us for both of those listings to be shown and displayed high. So Uber Eats is actually the one who's like pushing this because duh, why wouldn't they, right? So anyways, we've been doing it. Applebee's has been doing it. Hooters has been doing it. Hooters is Hootie's Burger Bar. And Applebee's is Neighborhood Wings, I want to say. But yeah, they do. So if you type in pizza, you're going to see Chuck E. Cheese, Pasquale's Pizza Kitchen, blah, 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 blah. And you'll be like, fucking Chuck E. Cheese, ugh. Pasquale's, though, that shit looks like it's pretty good. And you know what? I kind of felt bad, but I also kind of don't. Because, like, if you order from a place with no fucking reviews that you've never heard of and you've lived in Dallas or wherever you're at for however long, then, like, you know, kind of eat shit at that point, right? Like, fuck you. That's your own fault. Like, we didn't trick you.
Let me welcome you to my world.
Tyler Crazy, what's going on, guys? How you doing? So anyways, Zorkenheimer, thank you so much for the raid, man. I appreciate it. So anyways, yeah, Chuck E. Cheese has been doing this, right? Well, I've been posting funny Pasquale's. I've been posting funny jokes about it. And now people are tilted. They're like coming at me. And they're like, hey, don't make jokes. But like, truth be told, if our social media team had any idea what they were doing, they would be making jokes too. They would be capitalizing. Nothing does better than when you make yourself part of the meme. When you feed into it, you know, when you ride that I don't know what it's called, fucking not what we'll call it, that attention, right? While your name is hot, whether it's good or bad, you kind of turn that. No, so we have specific instructions. Okay, first of all, like, it's illegal to sell stuff that's exactly the same under a different name. So what you have to do is, we actually make the dough differently, and we bread the wings and stuff differently, and then we put them in different boxes, so it's in its own box. But that way it's legally not against the law. But yeah, like, if our social media team was not completely incompetent, they would be posting the same Chuck E. Cheese nonsense that I would be posting, dude, because people think it's hilarious, right? Like, if you laugh, if you're like, yep, or if you like for instance, I did this little thing today, and I got told if I posted it, I'd be in trouble. But it was me at the cash register, and this guy walks in, and he's like, can I get Chuck E. Cheese pizza? And I was like, or no, he walks in, and I'm like, welcome to Chuck E. Cheese. And he's like, oh, sorry, I thought I was at Pasquale's. And I was like, hold on a second. And I went, and I drew an Italian mustache on, and I came out, and I was like, welcome to Pasquale's Pizza Kitchen. What can I get for you? And I showed it to the guy I was working with today, and he was like, dude, fuck no, you cannot post this. And I was like, come on, man. Come on, that would be so, like, if we did shit like that, imagine what people would do. They would think it's hilarious. But Chuck E. Cheese, what do? They have no idea how to market to our exact demographic. No idea, man. It drives me crazy. Makes me crazy. Yeah, I get in trouble all the time for, like, tweets. I get told a lot to take my tweets down. It's happened a non-zero amount of times. Yeah, so for anybody who's just now joining us, this is a PSOne. We just tested it, and we're not getting any video signal. So what I'm doing is I changed these two AC coupling capacitors here. Oh, I don't know which ones are the bad ones. Oh, these are. So this is what they look like. Sorry, I didn't mean to hit my mic. This is what they look like. As you can see, this top number, 220 microfarads. So these two AC coupling capacitors, right here and right here, they're responsible for composite video and S video, respectively. So we're gonna put new capacitors on there really quick. I'm gonna open up the schematic and show you guys what I'm talking about. But yeah, that's a funny ass joke, right? I was so proud of myself. I thought it was hilarious. So this is page 527, 528. As you can see here, this is the AV multi-out, which is this thing up here. Boop, boop, boop. So okay, right here, number 7. So this is our video signal. And you can see that it comes down to, oh shit, what can I add? Oh, there it is. It comes down to here. So 7 comes here to this ferrite bead. This is like a magnet that it gets rid of like noise on the line. And then it comes down here to a junction, and it goes here to this diode, and that just maintains polarity. And then here's your AC coupling capacitor. Yeah. And you can tell which way this is, so based on this line right here, you can tell what the, you can tell the orientation. So as you can see here on, Here's pin 7. Sorry, it's kind of hard to see. Why do I sound like an underwater nerd? Because my microphone's kind of far away. So this is pin 7 right here. Works its way down. Here, here. So we're just gonna try these out. This thing feels kind of moist. Which is never good. First, what we're gonna do is we're gonna clean up these pads a little bit. I cleaned off all of the manufacturer's flux. Do I just buy parts. So for oh fuck. So for like the capacitors, for instance, I buy them off of Console 5 for like if I do stuff on Sega Nomads, I get these from Console 5. Pretty much everything comes from Console 5, to be honest. A lot of the stuff, though, I have from, like, fixing other stuff and keeping bad parts and things like that. I'll usually, every day I wake up and I go on OfferUp and I see if people are selling broken stuff. And I buy it, and if I can't fix it, I keep what's salvageable. And over time, I've accumulated a decent amount of stuff. I think I have, like, 8 PS2s and, like, 6 or 7 PS3s, and almost all of them work now. Some of them, though, are beyond saving, and I get to keep those parts for whatever repurposing. See our oh fuck, I need my soldering iron. So I got my flux, my no clean liquid flux, my solder. So the issue with PS2 lasers right now, so PS2s, PS3s, that's like really what I care about the most, you know. PS3s are like my specialty, quote unquote. My issue is, I don't like how tangled this is, it's giving me anxiety. The issue is that lasers for PS2s right now are really expensive, like unnecessarily so. I'm talking like 16 to 20 bucks, and you know, when the whole rig only costs $45. You know, it's like, is it really worth it? I need to recap my Turbo Duo. Ooh, I have a whole set of... Oh, that's Nomad. Yeah, see, I have these are Turbo Duo kit caps, Nomad caps. Turbo Duo is actually not that bad. I mean, it's bad. It's actually really bad. But if you have a hot air station, it goes by pretty quick. If you don't, you can either buy this one I have for like $45, and it does what it needs to pretty well, or you can, you know, obviously just get a more expensive one. Alternatively, you can just use a soldering iron, but that's gonna take you a really long time. There's a lot of capacitors on the Turbo Duo. And it's kind of an expensive piece of hardware as well. I should have put flux on here. Yeah, look at it. Look how it's sticking. That's probably for the best. Are modern consoles just basically PCs? I mean, kinda. Old ones are pretty much PCs too, though. I mean, think about it. I hate this fucking pen. I need to get a better quality flux pen. Good, much better. So I'll tell you what, man. Me and my girlfriend have been watching The Inhumans, and boy, did they really not do them a service. That show is awful. Like, why is it so bad? It's like almost low budget, but it's a Marvel, you know? It's like, we know you guys have the money. Why is it so shitty? I actually, Tyler, have a Turbo Duo coming in like a month, hopefully, and I'll probably recap it when it gets here because there's no telling, you know, how long those caps are gonna last. So, for anybody who's unaware, so on these capacitors, there's a couple of things. If you don't know the way you should orientate them, also Lily, what's up? I didn't mean to miss you. So you see this black bar here? That means that means negative polarity. You can actually also kind of see how on the bottom it's shaped. See how it's not shaped in a perfect square, it's kind of like curved over on this side. Well, if you look at the board itself, you'll see that the orientation is the same way. So you just match it. Granted, negative goes on this flat side. It's a pretty easy way to make sure that you're doing it correctly. It's really not that hard as far as laying it down is concerned. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to put it back in here so I can work on it flat ways. Oh, bummer. I'm going to slide it back into these. Fill the sarcasm quota? Perfect. Perfect. So sometimes the hardest part about this is about changing these is placing all this stuff because it really does seem to kind of get way out of the way, especially considering that like when you solder up these pads like this, they kind of become rigid. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna drop it on there real nice. Touch our irons to that. You'll feel that side sit down. And we'll come over here and hope that we lined it up well enough. Just push on the top and you'll feel it. There you go. You'll feel it as it sinks down. I do have good taste occasionally, not really in RPGs. Although my next RPG, guys, it's gonna be hot, I'm telling you. Cosmic Fantasy 2 for the Turbo Duo. Boy, it's a treat. Same thing with this one. We're just gonna get a tiny little bit of solder here. You don't want to get a whole lot because the pads already have some on there. I'm just gonna sit that bad boy down. Looks like it's on there nice. Are there advantages to this model PSOne? Yeah, dude, it's like fucking really cute. Well, this guy's kind of crooked. I need to pull up this side. I honestly, I couldn't tell you. They're a lot more reduced. Their lasers are a bit cheaper. In speedrunning, there's not really any advantage to having any PS1s because PS2s kind of dominate. Okay. Alright, that seems to be in there plenty decent. Can you mod these ones? Yeah, actually, these ones are really easy to mod if you want to put in like a Modbo 4, which allows you to play like region unlocked and burned media. You can MM3 it, which is like a $7 little chip that you can solder in there. You can use Voltar's new PSIO, which is actually a short board that you would put an MM3 or what have you on there, and that would allow you to play burned media and stuff like that. If I were personally going to be modding it, I would be using Voltar's PSIO. I don't think it's compatible with this board revision, This is actually a 61, which is the latest PS1 board revision that was ever made, as far as I'm aware. I can show you what an MM3 chip looks like. What's going on, Hughes? How are you doing, man? So yeah, so this is your this right here would be the board that I'm looking at. You see? And you put this little MM3 chip in there. I would hope that you don't use conductors that are that long, but whatever. Yeah, and then that MM3 chip will allow you to play things like Japanese games. And it's a very cheap. It's like 8 wires. They only cost like $7 or $8 to order. Now I would recommend using a mod bow, which is a bit more expensive and a little bit harder to get a hold of. They're more reputable. Yeah, that's all trash. I mean, that's like as basic as it comes. Those little MM3 chips. Hughes, have you seen Voltar's new PSI? No, what is it? It's not a PSIO. It's a. You know what I'm talking about? His new little relay board that you put the it's sick, dude. It's sick. You put the MM3 directly on it. I like it a lot. Oh, Psyox. Yeah, that's what it's called. That's right. The PSIO, for anybody who's not aware, is what allows you to play SD cards. So you can actually mod these in a way where you can play games off of an SD card with the PSIO. I guess we'll plug this in now and see if it works. See if we get video. If we do, we're done for the day, and that was quick and easy. Oh, yeah. It's not sitting flush. That means these capacitors are raised a little bit, but that's alright. We're gonna put, the one that doesn't have the detachable top. Actually, no, we're gonna put the regular one in there, because we knew that it worked. I never really got this one going over here just because I never cared. It was a bad board. Dude tried to fix it himself and it was just fucking ruined. He had pulled components off with his fingers and legs were still on the board and stuff. It was crazy. So this right here is your this little switch. You have to hold that down in order for this this laser to trigger. So we will see here now if we can get, what was that game we were using? Let me pause the music. What was that game we were using again? What did I do with it? Oh, here it is. Yeah, this game came with it. NBA Shootout. There we go. Yeah, the PSIO is an actual, and it's a pretty in-depth mod. It's a no joke mod for sure. So we're gonna plug these in just like this. We're gonna hold this little switch down. We did it. Nice. So our $1 eBay PSOne, it works. Cool. I mean, I guess that's it. I don't know. I'll put it back together while we shoot the shit. Oh, you know what I actually want to do? Oops. what I actually want to do is I want to switch it to a prettier case. So I actually have this case in much better condition that I'd like to use so that we have a nice pretty PlayStation as opposed to this kind of dingy one. I even have the heat shield and all that stuff as well. But yeah, that's awesome. I'm really glad that it was a simple fix. Cool beans. I'll turn back on the chill music and we can shoot the shit for a little bit longer while I finish this up here. Thanks for the GGs, guys. Yeah, I'm actually just gonna swap them out entirely. So I'm gonna take this board and put it into a completely different case where I already have clean shielding. See the difference in that? So we'll put that over there. We'll pull this bad boy out. Let's kick the music back on. Now this one's actually really nice. It's really neat that the laser sits like this. You know, PS3s and stuff like that, that's not the case. Obviously. But it has these little things that it just sits in flush. It's really, really nice. Real simplistic, minimalistic design that really, really came out decent, I think. And because the laser works, we don't need to put the other one on there. Damn, that thing's in there good. I don't like yanking on these little pull tabs. Generally, you wiggle it back and forth, and it comes out, but I don't want to separate the ribbon cable, even though I do have another one. I wonder if that connector, it's not the cable doesn't really look damaged, but I wonder why it's giving me such resistance. Yeah, I don't know what I'll do with this one. I have so many PlayStations now that maybe I'll just leave this one in my daughter's room and she can play it. Exactly. Those little ribbon wires are super fragile, and even if you crinkle them the wrong way, you can cut off there's traces. I had that happen. I ordered an LCD mod for a Sega Nomad, and the screen that came in through, and you know, Console 5, it's not their fault or anything, but when it came in, the ribbon wire on it was damaged because it had been folded really sharply, and it had a break in one of the traces. So I was getting like some weird scan lines on some weird like horizontal lines on my Nomad screen after the LCD mod, which made me think that I didn't tap into the 5 volts correctly, but I eventually ordered a new screen and it worked fine. It just happens when it's super fragile like that. So yeah, this is the new case, the clean one. Obviously a significant difference in cleanliness and shininess. Oh wait, no, this is the bad one still. Where's the good one? Oh no, this is the good one. This is the bad one. Yeah, I could buy a $7 mod chip, and we could... Yeah, I mean, mod it for fun on stream or something. I don't know. I don't really have an innate desire to give my daughter a fucking region-free PSOne. Oh, which one was which? I think this one was the older one, but it doesn't matter. Well, actually, oh, I'll tell you how we can tell. There's a yank on this bad boy. Yep, this is the old one. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just put this better condition one in here. Might as well make it the best version we can. Oops. Oh, that's correct. There we go. See how it fits in there? Super nice. Really cool design. I like that a lot. This tape is shot, but it is what it is. It's kind of irrelevant. So this goes on. Now these things do kind of like, you gotta really press on them when you close them up, because they're only held together by 5 screws, so there's a lot of stress there. So as you can see, until we screw it down, it's going to be kind of cracked. You really have to force it closed, which I'm not super cool with, because, you know, it creates a lot of pressure. But, you know, that's kind of how it's built. Oh yeah, don't get me wrong, I really like being able to play burned media on a PS1. But you gotta remember, where are my interests? And my interests are in speedrunning. I'm never gonna use a PS1 for speedrunning. What I do plan on doing though is modding on one of my black 90Ks, the NA, the NTSC-Us, so that I can play my Japanese games on it, because I have a Japanese 90K, a red one over here, and you know, it's just kind of old. It's kind of shoddy. I've had to change the laser on it already, which is really a pain, because I paid like $100 for it, because the red is like limited edition, and I wanted every color. Exactly, you want one of the late, and what sucks though is that it's not always the later PS2s, right? So I have a 77K Japanese, my pink one, my baby. You can actually see it right over back there, see, right there. So that's my pink 77K, and it's the fastest way to run London Seide Tantedon and Thousand Arms, because those games are blacklisted on the PS2 90K's fast disc speed. Fast disc speed doesn't work. Legend of Dragoon, I have that silver one, you can kind of see all the way back there. And that's an American 77K for the same reason. It doesn't run on fast disc speed on 90K. Then I have a 70K for Breath of Fire 4, because Breath of Fire 4 has really, really bad lag if you don't use that revision. And then I have a, what else? I guess that's it. I guess those are the only ones I use for speedrunning. I use 5 different ones for speedrunning. And then the other 4 or whatever, I just have for some reason. Yeah, I love my pink one, it's dope. So there we go. Seals up nice. This one's a little dirty. But if we're talking about, I mean, this one is fucking filthy in comparison. Like, look at those feet. Yeah, the 90Ks are unfairly fast, because they're just faster than PS1s were ever meant to go, right? And you know this because you can run PS3 digital PS1 titles on, you can run digital PS1 titles on the PS3 and enable fast disc speed, and you notice that they're still slower. Part of that is because it's due to an emulation chip, but part of that is because the 90K fast disc speed really went faster than it was really meant to. Which is part of the reason why I love my CECHAs. I have 3 of them. And those are the launch edition PS3s. They actually have PS2 hardware inside of them. Whereas every revision that came after, the Checha and the Chech B, they actually use an emulation chip. So the compatibility of the library drops from 99% to about 70-75%. So obviously Model A is the best PS3. Now the emulation chip in the Model E, which I also have one of those, it's my favorite as far as speed, because it's the fastest. It loads faster than the Model A does. So fast that you're not really allowed to use it in a lot of speedrunning communities for PS2 titles. So these capacitors right here are good. I'm gonna save them. These capacitors right here are bad. Yeah. Alright, so now let's make sure it works again, now that it's all put together. The button's pushing down a lot nicer. Way cleaner. Pull you back over here. Oops, shit. try to, we'll see if we get video again just to be safe, but we should be fine. The only thing that I changed is that I put that different disc reader in here. I just want to make sure that it works before I have to take it apart again. So let's see this. Oops. Yay, first try. No more stickiness. Nice, checks out. We got ourselves a $1 PS2, or PS1 rather. So then you do what any sane person would do next. Is you bust out a fucking Kiwami. You make sure this bad boy checks out. Yeah, so I can fix yellow light of death. That's usually what I stream when I'm streaming these, when I'm doing these streams, is yellow light of death PS3 replacements. The two that are up here on my display were both yellow light of death. I got one of them for $10, and yeah.